Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mike Asherbranner, the proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business community, and I am rolling with Mike King Biz Radio, ESPN 106.1. I am super excited, super sick. I finally took a vacation, and then I come back and get sick. So, hey, good karma. So, appreciate everybody out there in Radio Land on live right here. Uh, you're in for a special treat. All right, St. Jude Walk Run, Miami. We're going to talk to some amazing people that were just absolutely impacted, and they make a huge impact for childhood cancer, cancer patients, loved ones. It's just an amazing, amazing experience. So I'm so happy to share this with you guys. Let's get the party started and let's do this.
Are you looking to grow your network and your net worth with other high-level, heart-centered professionals? Then grab a seat and your favorite beverage and join Mike Asherbranner, the Redneck Connector. It's time for the Hounds of Business Community Happy Hour.
All right, I am super excited. We're not going to waste a moment of time. I want to dive into this. This is an issue and that so many people can really resonate with. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up my good friend Rochelle. I always mess her name up, Prosser, right? Pros,
Yes, it
say
is.
it right for us.
That's fine.
There you go. And Stephanie, you can say your last name as well, ma'am.
You're not even gonna try, Mike?
You know,
Severino. Thank you so much for having me.
thank you so much. And so I know Rochelle, you're an oncology nurse, RN, and you're with Orchid Healthcare. But today you're fully on. All right. You want to share the message of St. Jude Walk Run with Miami. Cannot wait to hear about it, about your story. And Stephanie, we had just met, so I cannot wait to hear your story as well. So, Rochelle, hey, take it away. Tell us, because we would think being an oncology nurse would be why you're, so passionate about this, but it goes much deeper than that, doesn't it? If you don't
Yeah.
mind, tell the folks your story. It's amazing.
So, St. Jude is one of the hospitals that are truly close to my heart because they started us on our path with my young daughter at the age of 4 when she was diagnosed with pylomyxoid astrocytoma, which basically is throw some spaghetti at the wall and we'll figure it out kind of tumor. Even though astrocytomas are very common in children, she had one of the most rarest of all, and there really wasn't a cure at that time. And the community hospital that we were at in Florida, we failed whatever conventional treatment was available there at the time and wound up at St. Jude. And everything you see at St. Jude is exactly what it says on the television, and then some. And then some. And so this is why St. Jude is the first thing I pay. I pay before my mortgage. They really are about the people, about the children.
Absolutely. And that's the little version. I mean, your journey has been amazing. I mean, you've been impacted directly, indirectly, and you're
Mhm.
doing some amazing things, outside of this. But I mean, St. Jude, who hasn't heard of St. Jude? I mean, goodness gracious. And we know somebody either in our own family, friends, or someone who's been impacted. And it's a fantastic organization. I'm actually looking forward to learning more and how to get involved and support it. But Stephanie, how did you get involved? Why is this so near and dear to your heart, as the co-chair of this walk run?
So I had the privilege of joining the board recently. My good friend Pablo Erde, he is the chair of the board this year, and I know he's been involved for at least 17 years. He's always, been there, raising funds, getting involved. He's a great voice here in the community, but I am a former TV reporter and weather anchor. So back in the day when I used to work at Univision here locally, I would cover some of these stories. I also had the honor and the privilege of going to some of the galas, and that's how I learned originally about the work of St. Jude, by actually sitting down, interviewing some of the families and some of the patients. And then, of course, I could not say yes to, like Rochelle said, sending every month anything that I could, getting obviously on the roster and making sure that before I even saw the money, that money would be sent to them every month. So I've been helping out that way. But this year for our walk and run, which is here in Miami in September, but I want to say you don't have to be here physically to participate. Even anyone across the nation or globally, if you guys wanted to join, you could do it virtually as well, because this is a in-person and virtual walk run to help the kids of St. Jude. I also know that some of the people that have had the experience, which is also something that I covered in the past, of going to the hospital, they say that this is a life-changing experience when you go to Memphis and you get to see how the families are set up, all the different accommodations that they have, because this isn't just about raising funds and sending them somewhere where you don't even know where the monies end up. This is something that you could see physically, and that goes beyond just the treatment for years. Because Mike, I don't know if you know, St. Jude as a research hospital, they not only cure and try the patients that they have there, they share that knowledge with everybody worldwide.
Oh, fantastic organization. I mean, it's just amazing. I was doing research. You know, you could think it's just like helping some kids, and it's just like, to me, it's the driving force. Like, it's got its hands in so many cookie jars, and we're so blessed for that. I mean, it's such a supportive organization, and I see the hounds out in full force on the live chat. I know the folks in Radio Land and RVA, man, they're all good people. So I'm excited. So yeah, let me go with the history lesson. All right, who wants that? I think we'll hit Rochelle with this history lesson. So it was. So who is Danny Thomas, and what inspired him to found the Research Hospital?
But I actually grew up watching Danny Thomas on TV with his radio shows, with his TV shows. He was actually an entertainer and an actor, and back in the 1950s. But he had gone to a sermon and had noticed that they were bringing up the children and asking the congregation to pray for the children. And he realized that in leukemia, there was only a 20% chance of survival. So he said if he ever made it big, if he ever found a large sum of money or became a celebrity, he would open up the hospital to help the children. Now, the even more poignant part of Danny Thomas is that he's from Armenia. And so the outcomes for children in Armenia was really dire at that time. And so he built a foundation to bring the children from Armenia to St. Jude, to give them an opportunity to find survival, because at that time, childhood cancer was only successful 20% of the time. We have now come so far where we are saving children 80% of the time. And even with that, we still have a little bit more to do. And my daughter ended up being one of those 80%, but it took 10 years of trying something and then moving to something and then moving to something else. And so if you just get the opportunity to come, there might be something to help you or to sustain you until technology can catch up with you in medical science. So this is the history of St. Jude. It's after my own heart. As an oncology nurse, we know that we're not going to always find all of the answers, but we want to at least help you get on track to find what that solution is in cancer, in your cancer journey. And so I'm local in Miami. My daughter is a cancer survivor, and I'm seeing these lovely little people, Stephanie, and all the children. That's it. This is who we are.
God forbid, this is also why I got involved. God forbid any one of us who have kids. I have two that just walked in behind me.
Yes.
8-year-old and a 10-year-old. God forbid any one of us, and he's waving, has to go through this. You just have the peace of mind that St. Jude is there for you, and you will never have to pay for anything, not even food. You have to worry about nothing while you're there. So that is why it's so important that you guys help us out. go online, join us for the walk, because at the end of the day, obviously, we just need to get the funds to be able to continue to operate.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to skip ahead since you brought this up because I mean, again, wow, staggering numbers, 80%. Could you just think about it? Imagine where we would be if St. Jude didn't do that, if Danny didn't do that, right? And I
Mhm.
love this because it's just regular people, right? It wasn't some billionaire or somebody, it blessed it. It's like, hey, I'm going to do this. And I love it because both of you ladies are the same way, especially Rochelle. I know you, right? You have done amazing things just on sheer willpower, right? And man, it's just an amazing, and it hasn't changed since 1962. The
Yeah.
organization has just continued to be just an amazing, above reproach type of organization. So let me change gears because there's so much to talk about. I'm overwhelmed. I'm excited. So it opened up in 1962, which I did not know.
Yes.
But as far as you know, Rochelle, how did it change the landscape? Like, how was it before that time, and how did it change the landscape of childhood cancer treatment to present day?
So before, children were in an open ward, and then parents had to leave their children alone in the hospital and go while their children were battling. And sometimes they came back to the hospital and they were gone. They didn't have a chance to actually be there to be by their children. And there was no specialized care in cancer for children, specialized hospital for children to be able to go to. And this is what makes this so unique. St. Jude was the first. It was the only at that time that helped children, and only children, and most importantly, kept families together. I often talk about travel tourism and how we have to go across country to be able to find remedies. But St. Jude encouraged you to stay as a family unit because that family nucleus was so important in tethering the children to give them something to live for. And so that's what made St. Jude so amazing. And they swore and they uphold this value of keeping the family together.
Yeah. Wow. And on that note, because again, it's not just medically treating the cancer, right? We have families, we have parents who are already overworked, overwhelmed with life, right? And children as well. It's hard growing up. Life is hard. And then you throw cancer in that. Holy cow, right? Income and stress and family dynamics. And I can't imagine. So on that note, uh, and St. Jude doesn't charge, but they do more. So what unique services does St. Jude provide to patients and their families that go beyond medical treatment?
Oh, so Mike, if you don't mind me jumping in, Rochelle, it's the housing. Just think about how if you had to go away because you don't even know how long you're going to be there, you could be there for months or years at times. Imagine having to worry about your mortgage payment or your rent payment. When you go to St. Jude, you don't have to worry about housing. You don't have to worry about food. They will make sure that you have absolutely everything, that everything's covered, even schooling. So they even, and I think Rochelle, you know even more about this than me, they actually have a school in the premises, correct?
Correct.
Wow.
Ages
No
4
kidding.
up. Yes. And one more thing that Stephanie touched on, it's more than just housing and food. There is such a term called financial toxicity, meaning the cost that you're going to incur just to maintain your care. They take care of that because you never receive a bill for the drugs, for anything that you utilize, for the doctors that you see, for the medical care, even for the diagnostic tests that you do. You never receive a bill, ever.
Anybody with kids, that's tremendous. I mean, it's just honestly, I mean, what are people going to do without St. Jude in this situation? Live in tents or something? I mean, it's the way the world is hard enough. I mean, St. Jude is just an amazing. I mean, I don't know if it can get top level. I don't know if it can get better than that. I
I
mean, it's
don't
just
think so.
unbelievable.
I've actually thought about the same thing before, and no, because imagine all the treatment, the travel for the patient and the parents, housing, like I said, the food, and they provide the school on site. There's like psychosocial help for the caregivers because you know how this could really have and take a toll on the parents and the siblings. So they even provide that. There's specialists to help the children cope with their new diagnosis. There's concierge services, translation help for those that don't speak the language. I mean, the list goes on and on, Mike.
Yes, on and
Oh,
on.
it's unbelievable. Well, real quick, we're going to get into it because I want the folks to know how they can get involved in the virtual and in-person walk run, all that good stuff. And we'll get a little bit more into it because I know you ladies have a lot to share. We've only got about 10 minutes. So you guys are listening to Mike King Biz Radio. I am Mike Asher-Branner, Hounds of Business Leader, and we are here with amazing representatives of St. Jude Walk Run Miami. Love rolling with Mike King Biz. Love the Hounds out here supporting this on the live stream and all the great folks. It's Friday in Richmond, so we appreciate you tuning in. And by the way, I got to meet Rochelle. I finally took that daggum vacation, right? And got to meet her. So that was fantastic. It was unbelievable. And we had a good time. You got free spaghetti, right? So
yes, it's always wonderful to break bread with friends. Honestly, it's family now, Mike. That's it. We shared our kids. That's it. It's over.
Oh, and we made a new friend. You know, I mean, again, this is, Dr. Symphony came. You know,
that's right.
Cynthia came, and so, you know, again, it's so much fun. Hounds of Business. Hey, shameless plug. If you're heart-centered, high-level professionals looking to increase that visibility and grow that business, make a bigger impact, hey, no more strays, man. Welcome home. You can find us Hounds of Business on YouTube, on LinkedIn, or even at the redneckfinancialcoach.com. So now we're going to get back into it. Oh, gosh. Let me see if I can keep it together. You mentioned, Rochelle, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, 80% survival rate. Right. Correct. So how has St. Jude contributed to the survival rates in cancer, you know, childhood cancer since it started in the 1960s?
Well, they were on the cutting front of looking at the actual research in creating clinical trials and studies and humanitarian uses of drugs for children where there were none. And so they brought in clinical researchers and doctoral candidates to come and learn about the pediatric space and pediatric cancers, as well to contribute their education towards finding the next advance in chemotherapy or any other ability, such as immunotherapy, or using the child's own T cells and B cells in their own body to save itself and to save themselves. And because children are so unique, they're not just little adults. They actually have their own ecosphere of their bodies, and they will never turn a child away. That child could be newborn and have a tumor that they've been developing while they're developing inside their mother, and they will help that child. And so their motto of no child will be turned away or left behind is something that they live by. And they make their criteria to try to serve all people. And it's not just people in the United States, it's everywhere across the world. When the Ukraine war started, St. Jude brought a whole committee together and with myself and a whole bunch of other supporters to work on getting the children out from the line of fire and to safety so that they could continue their treatment. So St. Jude will go to places where nobody else will go because they want to help the children. If St. Jude had not started their clinical research program today, we would still see terrible survival rates in children. So I thank them from the bottom of my heart. There are many people that have gone well before me that are here now and have also gone to greater places. But without St. Jude, we will not have the medical advances in cancer for pediatric cancers, including my daughters. So,
which is a beautiful story. Go ahead.
You have to also keep in mind that this is a research hospital that is basically leading the way on how like the world understands, treats, and defeats this horrible disease. And because September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, we really want to highlight, and I really want to take this moment to tell your audience, everyone that's going to be listening to this, people who are live on here now, that you can, from anywhere that you are right now, you can participate. You can donate. Everything's on there. That website that you have up on there, you could donate. You could register a team. We have a bunch of different teams already set up here in Miami. We are going to have some fun for those that are going to be doing it in person, because during that month is when we really want to make sure that in addition to raising funds, St. Jude needs $2 million a day to be able to operate.
Wow.
We also want to make sure that we raise awareness and we let the world know of the great help and the great work that St. Jude does, to eventually, and that's our hope, that one day we can say childhood cancer is no longer a thing.
Exactly.
Hey.
The most beautiful thing is September 28th is my birthday. And every year I do this every year. Every year it always falls on my birthday, the day before, the day after. This is what I live for. This is my big annual event. This is the reason why I get out of bed, because I know that today on my birthday, I'm going to make a difference. We are all going to make a difference for childhood cancer. So please come celebrate this moment.
Yes, double celebration. So it's really easy, guys. www.stjude.org/walk Miami. That's where you get all of the information. You could donate, you could register a team, you can get everybody, your entire family, your neighbors, everybody to go on there and help us. Last year, we had a goal of $300,000 and we surpassed it thanks to the generous donations, thanks to everybody that got involved, and we actually got 380,000. So this year, the goal is a little higher. So please go on stjude.org/walk Miami and help us out. September 28th at 7 a.m. is when we will be starting the walk. We're going to be there a little earlier to make sure that everything goes without a hitch. But there you have it. So far, you can see the amount that has been raised. We still have a few weeks, so we really need your help. So please go on stjude.org/walk Miami. There's also code nowadays. You know, if you're watching, you just grab your phone and you can scan that QR code and it'll take you directly to the site.
Oh, we got Stephanie going. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Look at you.
I do this, Mike, as the co-chair. I need your help. I really do.
Hey, we're on board. Hey, I don't know who's shaking their head. Who's on cancer side? Nobody. I mean, we're all of us, childhood and adults. I mean, it's just anybody. So many people are impacted by this. And it truly is an honor. I know Mike King, he's all about pushing people up. He's all about, doing amazing things, making impact in local communities. So, man, this is like PB&J when they put it in the same jar together. Oh, man, blew my country mind. You know, it just, hey, I'm still talking about it. So anything else, because I know there's a lot to unpack. I don't want to overwhelm people, but we know the website they can go to. Guys, if you couldn't catch this, maybe you're driving in the car, you can go to YouTube, Hounds of Business. This will be on the live and the video. So we'll put the links in there so you guys can find this with ease. So Hounds of Business on YouTube, also LinkedIn. We'll make sure that we promote this. And here's the fun part. On the website right here, it's showing 126,000. I think we can get over 400,000. I'm not, even when this line's all the way, yellow, I think we should push it over. I think we should keep going. We just go 500,000. Why not?
That would be amazing.
That would be great.
That would make everybody's day. And again, it's all about the kids. Just think of St. Jude as a place of hope and healing. And like you said before, why not? Who would say no to this? I mean, cancer sucks. Imagine when you have a little kid. We've seen the ads. I mean, I think everybody in here has seen the commercials. And just by hearing their message, seeing the kids that are going through the treatments or that have actually healed from it, that's all you need to see. That's all you need to hear to know that this is really a worthy cause. And at the end of the day, if they were able to go from 20% survival rate now to 80, imagine getting to 100. Imagine not having to worry, not having to think that this is a possibility either early in their childhood or when they're adolescents or teenagers. Imagine if we could get to that. That would just be amazing. And that's why we're here.
That's it.
Oh, can y'all feel it? When you light yourself on fire, run down the street. Yeah, somebody's going to notice. If they get too close, they're going to catch on fire too. Right? I feel it. I know everybody out there feels it. The comments, the hounds, the folks in Radio Land in Richmond. I just couldn't get more excited. My little sick brain can't even get the words out, man. So any final thoughts for the folks out there? Because, you know, anything at all, anything that you want people to know before we close out, and how they can, you know, recap how they can get going and plug in again. We can't say it too much.
So for me, and I'm speaking directly to the people in the Richmond, thank you, ESPN, for this wonderful microphone to speak directly to you. You know, when I lived in Canada and when I first moved here, I was like, St. Jude is, I didn't think St. Jude represented people like myself. Let's just be real. And so I never saw myself or a representation of myself on a commercial. I never saw myself on a representation on a billboard from St. Jude. But when my daughter was diagnosed with cancer, they didn't say no. They said, how can we help? And when I got there, I met many more people that looked like me. And I said, wow, we don't hear about this part. But this is the thing why Mike King is bringing us on the show to say, no matter where you are in the country, if you're in the valleys of the Appalachian Mountains or on a mountaintop, there is a space for you if your child has cancer. So don't think that there isn't someone out there that looks like you, that represents you, that is going through the journey. We're all here and we're all walking this journey together. So this is why I'm here. This is why I'm so passionate about it, to say childhood cancer touches everybody equally. And St. Jude has been standing in the gap for decades to make a difference. And I pay them first. I'm a recipient. If you want to come meet me in person, come join us. No child is left behind in cancer when they talk about St. Jude, and they mean it. They walk the talk, and that's why I support them.
Wow.
Matter. I was gonna say it does not matter what race, what religion, what demographic. You just never know. So imagine just knowing there is a place, having that peace of mind that if for whatever reason that is your destiny, that knock on your door you get, I just want you to know there's a place that will open that door for you and your entire family, and you will not be left behind. You will not have one single thing to worry about, because that is what St. Jude is there for. And that is why we are here, making sure that donors like all of you guys participate, get involved. And obviously the walk is something that's dear and obviously near to us, because we're working it and because we're here in Miami. So in about 6 weeks or so, we're going to be running together, having some fun, because I do have to say we're in Miami, and that is one thing that we know how to do, but we're also going to be doing it for a great cause. And if you can't come down to Miami on the 28th of September, you could still do it virtually by going on the website and registering or donating. Remember, September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and we're here just to spread the word and make sure that we continue to help out St. Jude.
Wonderful. And by the way, you ain't kidding. That bicycles, oh my gosh, everybody was on a bicycle in southern Florida. It was weird. Yeah, it was just, and Tour de France everywhere. I was like, man, I got to give me a bicycle. So, hey, you know, you said something earlier. We're going to close out with this. Cancer doesn't discriminate, and neither do we. Right. Yes. That's it. And St. Jude, it doesn't care about that. All it cares about is curing cancer, bringing normalcy back to people's lives. Right. That's so they can deal with the other regular crap, not cancer. Right. Yep. So thank you, ladies. You guys are amazing. Can't say enough. I just can't even get the words out. So please go out there. Tell them the website one more time.
Thank you to my king. Thank you all for giving us the space and the time and this moment to share the word. But remember, September 28th, that's where we're going to be walking or running. If you got the skills, you could also run it here in Miami. The fairgrounds, that's where we're going to be doing it. The county fairgrounds, starting super early, 7 o'clock in the morning, but that's where we're going to be. But if you can't make it, or if you just want to help out, you can go on stjude.org/Walk Miami.
Oh, I don't run unless somebody's chasing me anymore, but I'll walk. I'll walk and I'll raise money. I'll support. I know the Hounds of Business are out there. I know the Mike King Biz audience and supporters are out there. We're going to get it done. We're going to do our part. So thank you, ladies, once again. Hey, support St. Jude, Walk Run Miami. Thank you, guys. Can't wait till next week. Tune in. Same bat time, same bat channel, guys. Be good. Have a great, great time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.